Hello everyone. Okay, so this is the after video. It's a year later and you all saw what we started with here on the property. If you haven't seen that video, it's called the before video of my 2014 abode. So I just wanted to quickly, before we go to the main garden, show how easy it is for anyone to grow food as usual. And how am I showing you that? Well, this is the old chicken cage, and you know the family here always puts their scraps down at night to feed the chickens, and look what's come out of it. We've got two different pumpkins. We've actually got I think these are these are Jap pumpkins, and there's another vine that just randomly popped up, and that's the butternut pumpkins over here. So there you go, and that just popped up out of nowhere. A few tomato plants shot up too. There's also a tomato plant back there. And I'm on my fancy new camera, so let's zoom in. So you can see some tomatoes there. And look what else, a papaya, or pawpaw tree. So a little papaya carica shot up as well. And that was just from, the chooks, scruffing away at the food scraps and laying their manure down. So I'm going to miss this place. It's a nice little cabin. Very nice. Don't forget we can eat this red tower ginger, but only the yellow part, and it tastes like lemony. So now if we go up to the main garden, we can see what else I've put here. So yeah, it's been a good year, except I did not have a lot of money, so I even took pig face from the beach, and pig face has got that pink flower. In my video Wild Food Foraging Forensics for Jill Lopez, I went into further detail about pig's face. So as you can see, I just used scrap tiles. There's a lot of scraps around from when they made the pool. Bo. So just got some sweet potato, and here's some this is actually passion fruit, and I've found out that passion fruit leaf tea and passion fruit flower are sedative, so they'll actually help you with insomnia. Here's a lemon verbena, which isn't as good at purifying water and so on as lemon myrtle, the big tree up there, the bigger tree. I can just get a good zoom. That one there, that's lemon myrtle. Now I've found lemon myrtle, that tree over there, to be really good for antiviral activity. I was working in a banana field for a little while just recently, and I think I got Ross River fever, and from all the mozzies. And I got over it in a couple of days because I was drinking hibiscus lemon myrtle tea, and what was the other tea? I'll put horsetail or nettle in for some minerals and nutrients. But lemon myrtle was really the thing that I could feel making me better. So if you're sick, lemon myrtle tea all day long, mixed with other stuff as well. But in my opinion, that one is far better. That technique, or that little concoction, is just having a tea with lemon myrtle in it is better than all those little concoctions like the take garlic, lemongrass and lemon in a cup and so on. The lemon myrtle to me seemed to be the best thing I've tried so far in my life for helping. If you drink plain water, the doctor will say drink lots of water when you're sick, but put lemon myrtle in it. So you can see everything's grown pretty cool. I've had a a lot of food from all this. There's that kale. It made it through the summer getting eaten by the locusts. And here's some basil. Now the basil's really cool because look what keeps happening. The basil keeps shooting off little basil plants. So I do recommend planting basil, and you can see all the seeds start coming off and they just spread everywhere. There's another little basil coming up, and another one, and another one. So they're all very edible basils, and I haven't even had to plant these basils here. They all just came off these 2 trees here. So there you go. Basil's a good proliferator. Some people might not know. So you can see the beautiful red flowers of the pineapple sage, which is an honorigan. You can also smoke it. It's an honorigan, which means like dream generator, or like, you know, plays with your third eye. It's for alchemical shamanistic elocution. Got a little bit of thyme and oregano down there these days. I didn't have that at the start. You know, these were just kitchen scraps. The family was going to throw them away. I think there was like 1 leaf left or something, and I just planted them all and they've all come back up. So I think they're spring onion, or yeah. So, and the tomatoes have gone really good. And I just wanted to say, with the sweet potato, you eat the leaves too. I didn't know that sweet potato leaves, those heart-shaped leaves there, they're actually really good for you. It's really good for eye health, and there's a lot of vitamin A in there. So, yeah, and here's that pig face that I was talking about. You can't see the flower, but I actually got this from the beach, and they used to treat scurvy with this. There's a few uses for it, but yeah, so it's also got high sodium. And I thought I'd put that in here because a lot of people don't have, you know, that angle covered, a lot of sodium in their plant-based diet, and that's a good one just to add a little bit of a few of these nubs to your salad now and then. Can help. I used to treat scurvy with it. I think I said that. So you can see all the little cherry tomatoes. They've been really good actually. There's loads of them. I think cherry tomatoes put off more tomatoes than big tomatoes, in my opinion. But yeah, and we've got some fennel that's finally grown up. Lots of pumpkins around. Now this one's interesting over here. Besides the parsley, which is one of the most nutrient-dense greens that we can put into us, it's next to spinach, right up the top of the most nutrient-dense greens. This one, sorry, not that one, this one here is a water spinach. It's called Kang Kong. Not King Kong, but Kang Kong, with an A. And this is just spinach. You can actually eat the whole plant, the stems and stuff, if you really wanted to as well. And I love plants like that, just like the pawpaw. Because, well, then you're not going to get any toxins, and it just means if you can eat the stems as well as the leaves, that there's no, you know, it's a human-friendly plant, so it's not like toxic or anything in any way. So, and this has less oxalic acid than normal spinach. It's a water spinach. You can see it sort of vines out a bit. So that one's really tasty, and it has that less oxalic acid taste, and less oxalic acid, which, if you don't know, can end up poisoning people and making all sorts of weird calcium diseases. So you don't want to eat spinach all day and that's it, like Popeye. It's actually not the best thing ever. So yeah, I just wanted to show that water spinach mainly because a lot of people won't have seen that Kang Kong. And you can just see I've got a lot of sweet potato around. There's a little patch of sweet potato around there. Because, I mean, you get the potato, you can take shoots off and as cuttings and put the shoots in good soil and they'll come up as well. And you can see all the lettuces are just strewn around. Shushbo! There's a lot of lettuces strewn around, like over there. Just there and there. That just came from when we had them in the middle like that. You remember seeing them there. And, you know, they just seed and they proliferate really well as well. Also, and that's plantain, which was also up in that top little garden, and that's for like cardiovascular health and stuff. That's just another tea. I wouldn't eat that, I would just use it as a tea. So, you know, this is interesting, this plant here. You can smoke this and get, you know, a bit of third eye action going on. Helps you with dream generating, so I guess neuroendocrine secretion sort of help in the way of helping you with like REM sleep sort of melatonin secretion, in my opinion. And I mean, I haven't checked any studies, it just seems to do that when you use it. Pardon me. And that's why it's called an onorigan. It's a dream generator. Oh, look at this beautiful butterfly getting the pollen. So if you eat that end of the pineapple sage flower, it's really sweet. It's like a little lolly. Okay, let's keep going. And we can also see a other few varieties of plants around, but I'm not going to go into absolutely everything here. Here's a Thai basil as well. Most people will know that one. Oh, ran into a spider. Pardon me. So I'm not sure what... Whoa, another spider. It's on my chin. Excuse me. Had a spider on my chin. So I'm not sure what this one is, and it hasn't fruited yet. This is from Sam's video, and she said they might be golden berries, but, well, I can't see yet. They do have flowers finally, but I don't see any fruits yet. So perhaps in another week I might come back and shoot more video, or a couple of weeks if they develop fruit. But it could be a golden berry. I don't think so. It doesn't really look like it. I did have one once before, but it was in a pot and had thicker stem, but it does have heart-shaped leaves. It could be a golden berry, I'm not sure. Or a blue tomato plant. Pardon me. And you can see that I started a compost pile there. Now, that pineapple there, that actually is growing. Just straight out of the compost pile. There's no, like, there was no dirt there when I planted it. So it's just growing straight out of the compost, or my food scraps basically, and some mulch. And you can see the pumpkins also grow out of there by themselves. So these, the lemons on the tree here are coming up much more. There's a few more of them than last season. So I think, and you can see new shoots of growth as well. So I think my technique worked. I shaded it out a bit, this area, with that old worm bin covering the sides of the old worm bin. Then I put compost there, so more nutrients, and I watered it a bit. Now they said, oh, it needs more food. But no, when you make a compost pile next to it, that can provide food. So you don't need to give it special food. And you can see that because it's got new growth. So no one can comment on this video and going, oh, it still needs food. No, it doesn't. It's growing fine. It's growing back now, and actually, you know, getting much more growth. Because you can see how it's first come up looking for light, you know, and a lot of leaves fall off on the way. But now, look at these new bits of growth. It's looking great. It's becoming an actual tree now and shading itself out. It's not looking so spindly. So everything's going pretty good. More sweet potato over here. The kale somehow made it down here in the death zone, where my rosemary even carked it. Couldn't make it. Oh, and there's another little kale. So yeah, I couldn't put as much in as I wanted. I was about to start doing this garden up a whole lot, but I've just had to move out because their old grandpa is going blind, so he needs the cabin, and so I'm going to have to move out of here. Otherwise I would have put a lot of cool plants in here. We've got a Jobitu Kaba that I put in. Things like this I would have put more in. This is a Jobitu Kaba. And a new depside was found in this. And what's a depside? Well, it's an anthocyanin. And you can see colour of leaves. This means there's cyanidins in here. And, you know, it's just meaning really antioxidation. That's what the new depside really means. It's a new anthocyanin or antioxidative molecule. And you know, you can see that this is a real cheap garden, because if I could have bought more of these, there'd be all these cool plants around and not so many pumpkins. But what's wrong with growing a lot of pumpkins? Because there's a lot of fruit coming off them, and then one fruit provides you with many seeds, and you know, it's kind of walking your way into abundance. And I think I just figured out what the vine is. Yes, so that vine over there, which I was saying might be goldenberry or blue tomato, looks to be African cucumber, because I strung this up in the lemon tree here. I put it up here to trellis it, and it looks like it's got a fruit. So there you go. Now this will turn orange when it's ripe, and it's a bit hard to eat, as you can see the spikes. And then the inside's like sort of like a passion fruit, but not the flavour of the passion fruit, but the same way that it's pulpy and seedy like that. So it's very nice little fruit there. It's a nice little cucumber. So there you go, Sam. I've figured it out. So that'll be the flower, and that's what you get out of it. So that's interesting. I thought it would be a blue tomato. Because Sam gave me blue tomatoes, them, and well, you can see her seeding seedlings video. Awesome. There's another one. And another one. See, I love just being in the garden and being able to walk around and just find stuff suddenly. So this will actually get a lot larger. It'll probably double in size. That's about how they end up, about that big. So there's an African cucumber if you've never seen one. And it looks like the ryeberry tree is going pretty good down there too. Now I put logs around the ryeberry to help shade him from the sun, shade his roots. Stuff like that can be very important. He might not have made it, that plant, because it was a very hot summer for a while. If I didn't put that shade there, he might not have made it. That's a ryeberry tree. So this was a huge thing in this garden. Plants sharing shade. Down here I've got a type of passion fruit coming up. That there, it's a different type of passion fruit. I think it might be the golden one. You know, he would have struggled, that passion fruit, if I didn't leave all these weeds, these Bandit spilosas and all these fleabane and etc. weeds around here. They were invaluable to my summer. Not only is this edible, and the Bandit spilosa here, the cobbler's peg or farmer's friend, it's highly medicinal, and it's helping with the shade. So I told Sheridan, who was living here, not to spray. You know, you don't want to keep spraying. And I am about to write a paper on glyphosate or Roundup as well. And I'm just going to test the zoom of my new camera, so I can finally see where I've been living properly. Sorry about that, it's a bit shaky. Wow, that's some zoom. Can almost see into the house. Whoa. Nice zoom! Yeah, this was a $500 camera. So everyone watching the series is probably going to be like, oh, so you've been scamming us and you didn't really need all the donations. No, wrong. I did. I only just could find work in the last few months, and before that I was struggling for a few years. So don't think I've just gone and accepted donations when I really didn't need them. At the time, about 6 months ago, and back to 2012, I definitely needed them, and I want to thank everyone again from the bottom of my heart. He was really generous of people to do that out of the blue, and this kind of thing gives me faith in the world, faith in humanity, and faith that we're not just going into self-annihilation and wrecking everything and ourselves. It gave me a little bit of faith, so I just want to thank everyone really from the bottom of my heart. I really think that if we can take that ethic out into the world, the ethic wherein we cherish the living more than the dead, more than we mourn the dead, and so on, you know, and that means, you know, when you see another person's child and it's alive, instead of, you know, thinking about funeral costs for a dead body of your grandpa, well, in my opinion, the money is better spent on the person who's alive. This type of thinking is what I was just trying to get into, or convey across to you. Anyway, thanks a lot, everyone. You know, this series is now 81 videos strong. Just unbelievable. I didn't, you know, I had no idea if it would take off the ground, and I'm very happy it has. And, you know, I'm very happy that people are still viewing it, and there's almost 5,000 views now. Who knows where it can go? I just want to encourage everyone to make these sorts of videos, you know, just informational videos that help people, because, you know, one day 7 billion people could end up viewing it. Anyway, here's a perennial basil. Now this one's grown really good. I'm not sure how big this is going to go, but it's almost as tall as me. So this one tastes really nice. Well, it's got a bit less flavour than the annual basil, and it's a bit different. It's a bit more of a minty flavour. So it's almost like a minty basil. A little bit more. But yeah, it's a Greek basil, or a perennial basil. Just slightly different flavour to the normal annual basil most of us are used to. And here's that Kang Kong. You can see he's vining pretty good. Like, he goes pretty far, and it is a water vine, so they do like the muddy sort of soil. So I'm surprised that Kang Kong here made it through the summer. And remember, that's a water spinach. What else have we got here? A lemon balm. There's lemon balm, and that's really good for ADHD people like myself. The lemon balm, it's like a bit of a calmative sort of thing too. There's many properties of lemon balm, so research that one on the internet, because it's actually quite eclectic. And last but not least, there's an olive tree. Now, that's not going to produce olives for probably another decade, who knows, many years. It's already years old. It's already like 6 years old. I use the leaves because they're like the best antifungal thing. That's what I was trying to think of before. That's what I put with the lemon myrtle to get rid of Ross River fever in just a mere few days, when they say it can take up to a year for some people to get rid of Ross River. Well, it's just, well, you know, obviously I had it when I was a kid because it wasn't so severe, the Ross River fever, and then the second time you get it, which was now, or, you know, I got it again in the fields recently. Yeah, I admit that would lessen it, but still, the lemon myrtle and the olive leaves, it's very high fungal, antifungal and antiviral as well. I actually put this in my 2014 summer foraging video, all the research. You can actually see it online as I'm going through it and reading it out to you. So I use the leaves of that, and yeah, it just goes to show you how quickly you can get really quality tea. You know, you don't have to buy tea in packets and so on, because you can quite easily get an eclectic little tea going in your own garden. Just remember, you know, I didn't even know you could use this as a tea, and this is passion fruit leaves. I thought you could only eat the fruit. You can also eat the rind of the passion fruit. just like that, what is it? I've forgotten that other fruit. Anyway, I think it was Garcinia, that new weight loss one, Garcinia bogo or whatever it's called, and there's another name for it. Anyway, so there's just some beetroot, and the leaves are really good. Now remember that the leaves are like vitamin C and stuff like that in nutrition, but the actual beetroot we need for methylation, because since World War One, or around World War One and World War Two, since that time, over 50, 60 years ago, apparently anywhere up to 80,000 new chemicals have been, you know, born into the world and saturated over us. So we need methylation to get rid of all toxins out of our liver. That's what the liver uses. So if you've got not enough methylation groups or methyl groups, which are probably best found in beetroot, is probably like the best thing for your liver and the methyl groups, which detox your entire body. And so if you have one toxin come, your liver might say, no, I don't have enough methyl groups to deal with that. Going to have to leave that toxin alone and not deconstruct it and not take it out of the body or whatever. And then the next toxin might come along and your body doesn't have enough methyl groups, and so it can't deal with that toxin either. And remember, I just said, you know, there's many new toxins in the last just 50 years, like 80,000 new toxins in our environment. So it's very important to get this methylation from the beetroots, and the dose is 2 a week, and I would recommend taking it in smoothies with coconut oil, because that's also good for your liver and liver regeneration. And you can take up to 10 pounds in 3 months to regenerate a whole adult liver. 10 pounds of coconut oil in 3 months. So, you know, you can't have too much too easily. It'll be pretty difficult to get too much coconut oil into it and die of that. Coconut oil is very good for you. And that's what I've been doing, and I feel it. I feel less anger, because I remember learning from Mantak Chia that anger is stored in the liver, and you smile at your liver to let that go, or help let your anger go out of your liver so it doesn't store in the liver and give you toxic chi energy. Now, lastly, let's just go have a little look here. So you can see pretty much everything I've planted. So, ooh, look at all the pawpaw coming off, or the papaya caracas here. I wanted to say, lastly, this is such a shamanic plant. And I'm going to show you why it's super shamanic too. Well, it's not on these leaves, but you'll find pawpaw. This is a papaya caraca, so I think I was right about it being different to pawpaw. Because what I'm trying to show you is the hollow. Oh, here we go. They have hollow stems, so actually what you could do, take that top little bit off, you'd have sort of a little bit of a bowl section, and you can make yourself a pipe, you see? And then you can actually smoke the leaf in the pipe of its own stem. So I thought that was pretty cool. And why? Well, you know, it's nothing special. It's not like smoking cannabis or anything. But this one can just give you that little bit of a sort of relaxing smoke feel. In my opinion, smoking's the last thing you want to do with this. It's just if you felt like it, if you're a very shamanistic sort of person and you wanted to sit around and have a smoke of something, you could do that.